Here today, Dani Guppy, Euphoria Wellness Spa, Canoe Cafe.
What do you want, doll?
Ooh, look at the wonderful summer flavors here.
That's a lot of gelada.
Dani Guppy, Euphoria Wellness Spa, Canoe Cafe. They've got a fancy drink menu.
Don't they?
Right?
Wow, beautiful for summer.
This is the lemon fizzer. Would you get their sangria?
Yes, they're a pink lemonade sangria. And if we don't get the show on the go, this is going to be down the hatch. Is it good?
Yeah, and it's got lemon gelato in it. Prosecco, so good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Nice to see
Wayne,
you again.
Happy summer. Nice to see you. It's been
a while.
since PTBO's Got Talent. We worked together.
That was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
That was a blast.
And let's be honest, Peterborough does have some amazing talent out there.
Remarkable talent.
Unbelievable.
And we're going to do it again this year.
We're already like planning.
Yep.
It's already undergo. So if you think you got what it takes to be,
Reach out to Kawartha Home Healthcare Services. They're spearheading the project, which is fun.
Right.
The Tiffany Show.
Yes.
Dani Guppy, happy summer, my friend. Thank you for joining us today. So I wanted to bring you in. You and I have crossed paths since you moved back to Peterborough, I feel. It was like within your first month, and I had started a new job at the Chamber when you had just started at Fresh.
Yeah, and we were dropping off. It was a Ricky's mug drop, I think. We brought you coffee and breakfast sandwiches, and that's when I first met you. And like, your personality, like, bam, I'm like, okay, this girl is amazing.
We're kindred. We're meant to be together. And turns out we are. So I wanted to pull you into a Tiffany Show episode. You've got a bit of a story. I wanted to hear a bit about that story. Yes.
Okay, all right.
All humans, right? And I always have an affinity for radio people. I always kind of was drawn to them. I think they're really interesting. And I feel like there's a lot of questions I want to ask you.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
Pull some things out.
I'll see what I can do. When I'm put under pressure, I kind of
freeze.
I'm sweating.
We need a fan. Whew. All right.
It's either that or perimenopause.
Could be either. Could be both. Whatever. One and the same.
Yeah.
First, tell us about yourself. Dani Guppy, what do you like? What do you not like? What's your favorite Starbucks drink? What's your favorite candy? Fun facts?
Fun facts. Okay. Well, so I grew up here in Peterborough. Grew up in the North End. The North End. I'm a North Ender.
Me too. Well, I didn't grow up here, but I'm a North Ender.
Yeah. So went to a couple different schools growing up. I started at St. Anne's and then graduated grade 8 at St. Paul's.
Okay.
So my parents moved halfway through. And then started off high school at St. Peter's and did something really bad. Did something really bad and swapped schools without my parents knowing.
What? Yeah. Jim Guppy? Does he know now?
Yes, he knows. I never live it down, but I don't know, man. I was a handful growing up. Let's just put it that way.
That's fair. Learning to do.
And so I moved out of Peterborough probably. Okay, let's be honest. I worked at Harvey's like down the street here for like 10 years. So that's where I got my first job. Always loved mornings. I was up at like 5 a.m. when I was 14 years old going to Harvey's on a Saturday morning. So I love early mornings, hence the morning shows.
Yeah.
I just love. And so that's where I worked like the majority of my time here for the first time in Peterborough. Then I took off and I was like just kind of being like a little gypsy flying all over the place, having a lot of fun.
Were you like backpacking?
No.
Did you go out west? I feel like a lot of people go out.
I've never been there.
You just went to Belleville and came back.
I went to Whitby, okay?
45 minutes away.
I went to Whitby. But I don't know. I just up and left and kind of, I've always been like one to live out of my car.
Yeah.
So up and left and I was out of the Peterborough area. My parents were still here and still came back to visit every once in a while, but out of the actual area for about 20 years. So when you saw me, I had just come back out of 20 years back to Peterborough.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a long time. It was a long time coming. And I was pretty much a rebel child, I'd say.
A little bit of a troublemaker.
A little bit. I think I like to live on the edge a little bit.
Yeah. Free spirit, right? You're free-spirited.
Yeah. I like that way.
Yeah. And how do you put kids in a box, right? Like
you can't.
No.
You definitely can't. And yeah, I wish they did though.
No, the personality like yours, right? There's no putting Dani in a box.
There's no point.
I will put her in a corner.
I will break out of the flipping box so fast. And
I feel that. I feel that.
yeah. So anyway, I've just been doing odd jobs. I eventually went to college, like when I was 26.
Where'd you go?
Belleville.
Oh, okay. Loyalist?
Yeah.
Nice.
Loyalist for radio. And during the 2 years, I got pregnant.
Oh, you got a mini.
And we have baby Jasmine, which is no longer baby Jasmine. She's now 19.
She's going off to university, right?
She's actually going to Loyalist too, but she's taking a digital. She's in the media field.
Yeah, that's
but
cool.
she's taking the digital end of it, which is, I say, go that way.
Now, she's involved in theater, is she not? Or were you always a theater goer? I myself was kind of on the sidelines wanting to be in the theater, but I was way too shy to even attempt it. Oh, wow.
I know. I'm a shy girl, believe it or not. This whole thing, like being put on the spot, is like anxiety for me.
That's fair. Well, and I mean, usually it's just you and another person, and you don't get to see yourself or others on the other side.
Exactly.
Right?
I was going to say that's why I'm not on TV, but I guess I can't say that because I do have a segment every Wednesday.
That's right. What is it? Dani's Dirt?
Oh no, it's called Fresh Take on Global Peterborough.
Yes.
And I just like talk about what's happening in like Hollywood and stuff like that. A lot of it's Taylor Swift driven because she's making the headlines right now.
You're a big fan. We're all a fan. If you're not a Swiftie, see yourself out.
Yeah. How can you not be?
How can you not love her? Yeah.
So, what else can I say? Yeah, I have the best job in the entire world. I wake up way too flippin' early. I wake up at 4:03 every morning.
What? 4:03 specifically?
Yeah.
Do you have a 3-minute snooze? Is that what it is?
No, I have no snooze. I never snooze. I bounce right up, Tiff.
Really?
That alarm goes off and I'm like, bing! Okay, let's go.
Ready to go.
Today.
And are you just excited to go to the station every day? I feel like that would be the life of a radio host.
It's like a feeling, I don't know. Sometimes you get up and you're dragging and I don't know, there's just something that clicks and it's like, clicks in your brain. It's like, man, am I ever happy to frickin' be here?
Yeah.
Have a job that I love. I work with like Pete Dalliday, the best co-host ever, like Mr. Community.
Such a nice guy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So I have no complaints.
Did you and Pete go to high school together? I'm always confused by that.
Well, he's a couple years older. So he actually used to play, because I have 2 older brothers, and he used to play sports with my brother.
That's the connection.
And me and a friend of mine actually had like huge crushes on Pete Dalliday.
Who doesn't have a crush on Pete Dalliday? Sorry, Mrs. Dalliday.
It's true. I know. He's kind of a sharp-dressed man. Very witty,
such
very
a nice
witty.
guy, right? Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of a full circle that I'm actually, working with him every day. I spend more time with Pete than anyone else in my life. You know what I mean? So
it kind of describes your chemistry, right?
Yeah,
Especially knowing, you totally. And there's an energy with the two of you and like an understanding in the way you just move around each other, like on air. You can hear that connection.
It was like meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened when in the best time.
So when you decided you're going to go to Loyalist for radio broadcasting, what drew you to radio? And how has your passion now evolved in the space?
Okay. So I guess it all stems from when I was younger. We had a station here, 1420 CKBT. And I used to listen to Lil Jon getting ready for school. Like I went to bed with a radio in my ear, okay? Like all the time. So, and radio was bigger than life for me. Like I would hear Lil Jon on the radio, and then sometimes he'd be like tossing your jokes, and you'll hear them on the air, and like you'd hear your name like on the air, and like he'd tell jokes, and then we had like a tour of the radio station. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Honestly, thought it was kind of out of reach, just because I was so what is the word? I was shy.
Right.
I was shy, so I didn't think I would ever. So the fact that I'm here and like doing what I'm doing in my radio work is pretty freaking awesome.
That is awesome. Was it just sort of like roulette? Like I know when I applied, I ended up applying for like radio broadcasting, broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
I ended up taking Rec and Leisure at Fleming in Peterborough, but it was just sort of like roulette.
Yeah. The thing is, like, radio is such a small industry. I remember like going the first day, the orientation, they're like, you have to really, really want it. You know what I mean? If you're not going to go out and get it, if you're not going to volunteer your time,
Yeah.
if you're not going to, you know, work the weekends, work the hard hours, then talk to you later. It's
True.
not happening. You have to be willing to put your own time in, and if you want it, go freaking get it.
Yeah. And if you love it, it's easy to do. It's easy to give that time, right?
It's like not even
Yeah.
I know it's a job, obviously, like that's what pays my bills, but it's not like it's the best job ever.
Right. Like, who was
For
at
me.
Buckhorn Berry Farm this morning? I was listening to them on Fresh, and I was like, come on. I would
would've been
never be
Alex.
mad at that.
Yeah, that would have been Alex, our promo girl.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So when it comes to memorable moments, kind of heartwarming things that have happened to you on air, do any moments kind of stand out that you're willing to maybe share with us?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna I guess the whole COVID thing, man, like that hit everybody so like I could even
my
cry
God.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the world shut down basically, and I was still working, but Pete and I got separated. So I was at home working out of Keene for like 3 or 4 months, and the signals out there it was awful. I was on air and they'd be dropping the breaks, and it was like really frustrating for me because I like to produce good work. you know?
Yeah. Pressure.
And being in the middle of like, you know, a deep conversation, all of a sudden it cuts out. Anyway, so there was that. They got me back into the studio. So I was like 2 years upstairs in like a boardroom.
That's where you were.
Yeah, I was in a boardroom, and Pete
I always
was
felt like you were in the
downstairs.
basement.
That was my house.
Oh, okay, got you.
But anyways, like, yeah, the whole COVID thing, just came on so fast, and there was a lot of question in the world at that at that point. Like, we were all going through it. We didn't know like when it was going to end. Like, what a surreal feeling.
Yeah.
Like the whole world literally shut down. Like there was no toilet paper, for crying out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I remember
all
going
the
in and the
stores
shelves were empty.
All the stores were closed.
Yeah.
Like, it was something right out of a movie.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people that were down. And Pete and I were like, you know, how can we lift up spirits? What can we do, you know? And I just remember this one girl, Sandy. I think this time we were just like kind of picking up coffees and delivering them to like certain people who really wanted like a pick-me-up or whatever.
Yeah,
And I remember
that.
this one lady, Sandy. And you were part of that, by the way. You were wonderful. Like that whole initiation week you did. And
the Spirit Week, that was a blast.
It was really nice. And you were a good part of that as well. But Sandy, anyway, let's talk about Sandy. Wonderful girl. She's like, yes, Danny, like, we would love some donuts and some coffees and stuff. And so she lived in this apartment building. And so I drove up there, and there was this huge sign over the banner that says, Fresh Radio, we love Pete and Danny.
Oh my God.
And it was so nice. And she came down, and she's like, can I just tell you something, Danny? She's like, I haven't been out of my house in 3 years in this whole COVID thing. She's like, this is the first time that I've stepped out of my apartment.
Wow.
And I came down to see you guys because, you know, you need some sort of light in your day.
Yeah.
And her turning on Fresh Radio.
Yep.
And listening to, you know, like the stories, Pete and I, and it got her out of like a dark spot. I was like, holy crap. The fact, like, I'm like bawling.
I have chills.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm emotional. Like, I cry over everything. Like, I cry on air all the time, just so you know. Pete will bring up a story, and I'm like, like, I'm an empath. And so that really, really touched my heart. The fact that, you know, radio is quite powerful.
Yes, 100%.
Very, very powerful.
And you know what? I'm going to back that up. And when in those super dark, I've always been a local listener for sure. Every morning, definitely getting ready. COVID leaned hard into it. It was like I was barely listening to any of my playlists. It was radio all day long.
Yeah.
Because I felt that connection with the human beings.
Yeah.
It was it was trusted. Whatever information you would share that was fact, I trusted, really made me feel like a sense of connection. And there were different things that you did, like interviewing locals, and you were doing the Instagram lives and the Adult Spirit Week. And yeah, I just honestly, my also empath heart feels that so deeply in the work that you and Pete did throughout that pandemic to bring us together and help us stay joyous too, because you were still on air making jokes, trying to make light and bring that energy.
The show still goes on, right?
Yeah, totally.
And we showed up every day, and we tried to like put the brightness in people's dark lives at the moment, because it was a dark flipping time.
It really was.
I can't even think about it. I'll cry.
Well, there were some moments. I remember at one point, my coworker had left, Cy had left the chamber. Everybody knows my coworker Cy and I, we were like super tight.
Yeah.
I cried like a breakup. At one point, my husband was standing behind me, and I was sobbing at my desk. And I look up at him, and I say, "I just miss talking to Cy every day." And he's like, "Oh, come here." But yeah, there was definitely some really, really hard things that we also went through, not just navigating our own lives, but having the additional weight of COVID and our jobs and our mortgages and kind of all of that. So
wow, that was a dark time.
Yeah.
That's when my mom like kind of took a turn for the worse too. And like the hospitals, that's like,
oh yeah,
you couldn't. So yeah, it was like my dad and I, or my brother, whatever, like there was one person allowed in the room.
Yep.
And my poor mom stuffed in this basement.
yeah,
all by herself, no windows, no nothing.
Oh.
And they were like, we had kind of alternate days, and it was a tough time.
Yeah.
But
and unfortunately, like I don't share an experience like that with you, because my dad got really sick throughout the pandemic as well, and then we were commuting back and forth to Hamilton during these like weird lockdown times, and it was so scary, and so it was tough
I
few
remember
years.
driving in like certain spots, like just outside of the city, and they're like, you are not allowed, like big signs, you are not allowed in this town, sort of thing. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yes, you're right.
Scary.
And there was and a lot of people were traveling, and like I know there was like specific stories with Burley Falls and kind of up there, which broke my heart for all the neighbors that were up there, and like the situations and the lack of care and community that was being shown. But it's things like Fresh Radio, the morning show, Pete and Dani, that like remind us of the kindness acts, right? Because you guys were driving that narrative for us at home while all these dark times were happening. And it's interesting because you said the show must go on, which sort of brings me into my next question.
Okay.
Which was, what's been unexpected, hilarious, a challenge, a blooper? What's some like a good memory of behind the scenes, something hit the fan that maybe the viewer or the listeners don't know about?
Oh my gosh. They happen daily.
Really?
They happen all the time. The fact that I haven't like dropped some sort of swear word on the air is astonishing. Like I deserve an award just for that, because let's be honest, I'm a little bit of a trucker mouth. So, but once I'm in front of that microphone and it's going out to like, the masses, somehow we rein it in. But sometimes when that mic is off, it's like, that's like the behind the scenes are the best scenes. They're so fun. You never know what's going on. Yesterday, Dale Lowe walked into the station, and we're talking about Boney M coming to the PMC. And so Pete's like, "Oh yeah, let's get some Boney M on." And so we're all dancing around doing the Rasputin, and Dale Lowe's like, "Doo doo doo." It's like so much fun in that studio behind the scenes. Like I wish there was like a camera. That was like kind of captivating all this stuff.
Let's do kind of like how they have the cat camera at the SPCA. We'll get a host camera.
Oh my gosh!
And just observe you in your natural habitat.
It's so much fun. It's like a party in there.
Well, we talk about the station and your friends kind of coming in and having a good time. Your coworkers behind the scenes. You got to have mates at work. What are some unusual things you have at your radio station? I can only imagine the things that are in that studio. Maybe a couple foam fingers.
Oh, there's definitely a couple foam fingers. There's a blanket in there because it's hot and cold in there. I'm going through perimenopause, so I need a little bit of everything. Sometimes I'm like dressed in literally like a tank top and shorts, and Pete's got like the hoodie on.
Oh my God. It's got the climate control Walmart. It's always too hot or too cold. There's nothing in between. No offense, Walmart. No offense.
No, definitely no offense. But there's photos in there, old photos. There's an odd rat that is up.
What?
I don't know. Sometimes it scares me. I know it's there, but I look up. I'm like, that's a flipping. Why it's there? I'm not sure.
We need a photo of that. We need an interview with the rat, with the fresh rat.
Wow, if that rat could talk.
That rat, yeah, that rat has seen some things. Heard
We'd
some
all
swears.
We'd all be in trouble for
Yeah.
sure. But when it comes to like anything really original, I don't think there's always food.
Yeah, always snacks.
There's always
Yeah.
snacks. Pete Dalladay has a huge plethora of old vintage coffee mugs.
Really?
Yeah, so sometimes they're full of coffee, and they've been there for a week that I'm not touching. Sometimes it's clean.
Okay.
So we kind of go back and forth.
Yeah,
but
that's
anything
terrifying.
crazy, there's nothing really like.
Scared to pick up a full mug that's old, you know?
Exactly.
So when it comes to experiences on the radio, maybe people that have impacted you, do you have anything that kind of stands out that maybe like shifted your perspective or changed your life?
Oh yeah, this just happened 2 days ago, actually, Tiffany. Funny you bring that up. I thought I was dying when I lost my phone. So quick story. How long do you have, by the way?
You lost your phone.
Oh my gosh, Tiffany. Okay,
heart.
so my daughter and I, we're having this date day in Toronto. We're going to see like the best drag queen ever, Jinx Monsoon. She's playing at Massey Hall. She's from RuPaul's Drag Race. She's wonderful. So we take this beautiful photo just before we hop on the GO train. I post it, and then 20 minutes after that, my phone like goes, slips down the side of the seat that you can't reach.
So you knew. You
I
saw
could
it
see
happening in slow motion.
I couldn't.
Oh, nauseating.
I could see it, but I couldn't grab it because it was like metal, and there's nothing pliable with metal. So anyway, I can see my phone.
My God.
So Tiffany, you have no idea what I'm like. What do I do? Like I can see my phone, but I can't grab it. I need tools.
Yeah.
So, you know the movies where you see, like the action movies where you see people running from freaking train car to train car? That's me.
Oh my God.
Like the most embarrassed person in the world, running from train car to train car.
Do you have any needle nose? I'm looking for pliers.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know how to open the door. So I'm like, the train was packed because there was a Jays game that night. There was a Shania Twain concert. It was packed. So anyway, I was embarrassed. I found the ambassador. He's like, I'm really sorry, but we can't help you out. We don't have any tools. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, well, I guess I'm just going to write this phone off. And let me tell you, I thought I lost my mom all over again. It was the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, and I didn't realize how dependent I was on my stupid little cell phone. Like your whole life is in it.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like everything,
totally.
Photos, you pay your bills online.
Your
like
memos, your notes.
Everything. So I was having an out-of-body experience. Like literally thought I was like, that was it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So it took me a good 24 hours to wake up and go, this is ridiculous. Like it's a flippin' phone. Like, come on, I need to appreciate like the little things in life here. And anyway, so we mentioned power of radio, power of local radio is fantastic. So Pete and I were talking about it a couple times, and we have this texting line. So this wonderful listener, Christine Kilaki, she texted and she's like, Dani, call me. And this was right after I was talking about the phone, and I'm like, wow, this could be some good news. So she's like, I call her and she's like, Dani, she's like, I just heard you and Pete talking on the radio about your lost phone. Well, my niece's fiance works on the GO train. And I'm like, what? No way. No way. So anyway, I got in touch with the niece. The niece got in touch with the fiance. The fiance had to track down this car because I knew where it was. I knew everything about it. I was in the car.
The whole history on the car.
The route was 902. Like I knew everything.
It was built by Alfred.
But trying to get a hold of the GO Transit people to have them find
nightmare.
Help. And literally all you had to do was unscrew the chair to get the. Anyway, so it worked behind the scenes, and Craig got a hold of his buddy. My phone was all the way in Barrie, at a car in Barrie. So this all went down. Within 3 hours, the phone was in my hand.
What?
Unbelievable.
In what?
Unbelievable. I couldn't even believe it.
Unreal. The power of radio.
The power of radio.
Yep.
Not the GO Transit. They didn't help it at all. It was the power of those lovely people, which is like so kind.
It's also bizarre because you cannot be the only person that has dropped a phone in there.
No, I know, and they show
Right?
up all the time, but like some people would just write it off. I'm like,
oh my God, no. And you bounce back like 24 hours later. Are you kidding me? I would have been sobbing like 3 weeks
It was
later,
a bad.
I'm sure.
It was a bad Saturday.
Yeah. Oh
it was
my
a
God.
really bad.
That's
Good thing it
rough.
was raining, man, because it totally felt like
it was reflecting your sadness.
it felt like I was literally dying. No
I love
joke.
when that happens.
So the lesson there is put your freaking phone down, and you know, there's more to life
Yeah.
than your cell phone, because when you lose it, you want to die.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
and it's
totally
worse.
fair.
It sounds like so materialistic, but you live on your phone. So if there's any way you can, like, you know, kind of break free from your phone for a little bit and appreciate the other things in life,
Yeah, give yourself a little breathing room.
I
right?
recommend doing that. But thank you so much to Christine Kalaki.
Thank Christine
Bree
Kalaki. Shout
and
out to
Craig.
you, Bree, Craig. You're the real heroes, the real Canadian heroes.
Now I got to figure out what to do for them, though, because it's such a nice,
Oh.
kind gesture. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the
That's
scenes that I didn't
wild.
see that they made happen, right?
Right. You should get them like a little Coacher candy box or like,
That's
right?
a great idea.
I always feel like for a host gift or like if I'm showing up somewhere or like I screwed up a Tiffany show interview, full disclosure, last week. I was supposed to interview somebody super special to my heart. Gonna go to Coacher
There you
Candy,
go.
get them a box
That'll
of
fix it
chocolates,
all.
right? Little sweetness, little apology.
Reschedule. You're
Yup.
fine. Yeah.
So you're giving us advice. Try to take a break from your phone. Can you share any other significant life lessons, maybe some Dani principles that you live by? You're a bit of a free spirit.
I'm definitely a free spirit for sure. I wasn't always, though. I think I was really like, at one point, I think I was really, I worried a lot. And it affected like everything about my being. And then I don't know how it just clicked. And I'm just like, you know, like it is what it is. Life is what it's like. And you have to deal with the punches as they come. One thing that I would suggest, don't have any expectations on anything.
Manage the expectations and don't have any.
Don't have any because then you're not let down.
That's, you know what, that's really, that is solid, sound, sage advice.
Right. I think so. That's how I roll because, you know, if you expect so much from somebody or something or someone and they let you down, then us being empaths, we feel it. And
so true.
We can't get out of that that hole that we're in. So no expectations.
You almost take it a little harder too because you just naturally expect people to treat you the way that you treat them, but that's not how that goes, right?
No, but
and
I do kill people with
differently.
kindness if you're mean to me.
Same.
You know who you are too.
That's my best move. That's the ultimate power move, to be honest. Yeah.
And actually,
Kindness
I walk
wins.
away feeling like it gives me like a little bit of a boost if someone is like just nasty or like I feel sorry for them.
Me too.
Honestly.
It is sad. I'm sorry they're sad.
Yeah,
it's really,
there's something wrong with them. But you know what? Flick the switch.
It's always a projection, right? There's always something going on internally that is being projected.
You never know.
You
You never know what's going on.
Yeah,
and you know, I try to put my I always try and put my feet in other people's shoes, but still, man, life is way too short to be pissy.
Kindness crushes it. You mentioned you used to have a bit of anxiety, a bit of worries. In those moments of doubt or adversity, what kind of motivated you to keep moving forward, or what kind of cleared the way for you to do so?
Life is flipping fast and it's a whirlwind, and if you get too deep into the negative stuff, it could definitely take a toll on you. Like stress, it can make you sick. I'll pick up a book. I'll pick up The Secret. I am huge with...
Oh, you're a secret reader.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
There's a big... Yes, I believe. Absolutely. The power...
The universe,
the power behind
man.
that. The universe.
Karma, everything. You give
100%.
good back. It's gonna, if you give good out, it's going to come back to you.
Always get what you give.
Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of that. And I just feel like everything is going to be okay. Keep on going. Yeah. There's been like some crappy times in life for sure where you just don't see you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, you know, and you just got to be like, wait a second, this is just a moment. I'm just having a little bit of a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give myself that moment, and then it's like, okay, everything's going to be okay.
Yep.
Take a couple deep breaths.
Feel it for a minute.
Feel it.
Yep.
And everything's going to be okay. It's just a moment in time.
Yeah.
It'll pass.
It will. All things do pass. Good and bad, right? Chapters close. And it's that forward momentum and kind of staying out of that space where you're ruminating in the negativity, right? And it's hard,
It's
especially like
definitely hard.
you and I both lost parents with, you know what I mean? Like we know it's not just a switch that flips, but it is that kind of reminder that there's a light that we're working toward, and it definitely helps us to hold on to that hope, right?
Yeah, for sure. You got to keep on going.
Dani Guppy, if you could summarize your life in one sentence, you wildflower, or quote, what would that be?
What a long, strange, crazy trip it's been. Quoting the Grateful Dead in a Volkswagen Bug.
I love.
No, but it's just life. You never know what's going to be thrown at you.
No.
It's an adventure.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. You never know what any day is going to hold. Like, you could lose your phone on the freaking GO train and your life is done for a good 48 hours.
You would be weeping. It would hurt so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Good on you. Good on you. Keep going.
Keep going, yeah. Be positive. Try and be positive.
Try to be positive. Put on a good face. Try to treat people right. And that helps staying
kind.
positive too, is when you're being kind to other people, it helps breed that reciprocity and sort of helps you, helps me anyway, continue to
It definitely
continue to move forward, drive that narrative.
Yeah, when you project positivity, it comes back. And like, especially like being on the radio early mornings and stuff.
Yeah.
Pete and I, we get so many wonderful, kind texts coming in saying, you know what, I woke up having the worst day, turned you guys on, and you guys just turned my whole day around. And you know what that does for me?
Oh, my heart.
Like,
your impact, it is huge.
it's tearing up right now, but like, it's amazing. Like, little me, I have an impact on how someone feels in a day. Like, that's bigger than life. You know what I mean? Like, that is huge.
That's
like,
living.
That's living. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
You are doing, yes.
So.
I 100%.
I'm wiping my tears away.
I love that. It's a beautiful thing. Love what you do. Spread that kindness. That brings us to the end of the interview. I've got a fast 5 questions for you, Dani Guppy.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready?
Possibly.
Okay. Usually it's like 60 seconds. Let's see. Oh, now I get to quiz you. Like you've been quizzing everybody in the mornings as I'm yelling the answers at the radio. Fast 5, Dani Guppy, first question. Best thing about life?
Being here. Like every day.
Being alive.
Being alive. Absolutely. And going through the ups and downs in life and learning from your mistakes. I love making mistakes. Is that weird?
No, it's good.
That's where you learn.
That's the space that you learn that discomfort.
Like not everything is going to be hunky-dory. You have to learn from your mistakes, experiences. That's the best thing.
Gotta have that darkness to get the light, right?
Yep. And hats. Hats are fun.
Oh, hats, yeah. You've got a boho vibe. Number 2, act of kindness that has touched you and rippled.
I'm just going to say all the COVID stuff that... What about those sign wars? Was that not amazing?
It was the best.
Like, talk about rippling effect. That went national.
That did go national. Yeah.
And that brought a lot of joy to a lot of people who were dark at the time. And that had a ripple effects. It's all about being kind. That was so fun.
You know what was the cutest thing about that was the businesses that don't have like the big billboards and like the big signage out front.
Yeah.
They were like writing it on their sandwich board, and like La Masita was challenging the one cafe. It was so cute.
Talk about community coming together and pulling through. Like that was hard times and we made it work. We
stuck together. And you know what? All those people didn't see eye to eye, I bet, politically or fundamentally, but we all came together for that situation. It brings community together. What sports, fun, music, those things, right? And that's life, that's living, and that's a legacy. Little Dani. If little Dani was sitting right beside you today, what would you tell that little girl?
Don't give up. Don't listen to that teacher who made fun of you in grade 6. Don't do it. You know who you are. Isn't that weird that teachers are supposed to like mold you in like fantastic ways? But there was a couple that I don't obviously forget. And they had a huge impact on my life. Yes. And I still think about it. And I could just, once again, cry about thinking about how pointed the fingers and like centered you out when they knew that you couldn't answer the question at that point in time, you know?
Right. Kind of goes back to why you should do what you love, right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't do what you love, then you're not treating your clients, in this case, the students.
So important. I know you like everyone has to work. Everyone has to get out there and have a job. I get it. But if you have the opportunity, do what you love. then it's not work.
No, chase it. Chase the joy.
Chase the
Chase
flippin'
the
joy.
I do have to
Yes.
say, you know what? You're not alone in that space. I also had a challenge with a grade 5 teacher, and I had a challenge with a grade 7 teacher. And it definitely impacted me throughout my adolescence and my adulthood. It kind of took. It's interesting how things can affect us,
Oh
and
my
when we
gosh,
don't unpack
especially
them,
when
we
you're,
carry
like,
them with us.
So young, and
Yep.
you're supposed to be like, you know, looking up to this teacher, and they're like just squashing you down. And
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, how could someone even be that way? But
It's almost why we've adopted that ethos of kindness, positivity, right? Because we just don't want
we don't want
what
to.
happened to us to happen to others that we touch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so true. Foodies.
Uh-huh.
I know you love food.
I do.
Downtown all the time. If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would that be?
You're totally gonna laugh at me.
Is it going to be gummy bears?
No, it's gonna be wings.
Real? We should have done a Hot Wings interview.
Oh shoot! Next time,
Yeah, we'll bring her back. We'll do our own Hot Wings.
wings and beer, please.
Wings and beer, done. We can have that arranged.
Yep, definitely.
Favorite place to shop or visit in PTBO Kawarthas?
Oh,
Yeah, business shout out time. You can shout out as many as you want.
Okay, so Hi Ho Silver,
Ooh,
love you guys.
Good one. Love
Hi-ho.
those cheeky mugs they have over there.
Oh my gosh, are they not the
I love,
best?
yes.
And all the magnets and the stickers and the beautiful jewelry, and it's
Great
just
gifts.
like a fun little place to be. I love going in there, and I love seeing all their socials too. I like taking trips out to Bob Cajun, Begley's.
Yes, me too. When they
That's where
have
I
a
get my
sale.
hats.
Is that where you get all your hats? Is that where you get your glasses too?
No, I don't know where these ones came
Oh, love
from. but Do you
those.
like them?
Sassy, yeah. I should
I
have
like
worn
them too.
mine. I've got white ones kind of like that.
Yeah, you got glasses like that. You
Yeah.
got cool
Little
glasses.
Pit boss ones.
Yeah, yeah. It's sporadic. If I'm like walking and I'm thinking about something, obviously Winners, like come on.
No, yeah,
like
Winners
they got
always,
everything
yeah.
there.
They're like every weekend.
They got cheap perfume, like some good cheap perfume if
Oh.
you're ever looking for something.
Right, they really do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a clothing for me. I'm just I won't pay full price for anything. Most of my wardrobe is like thrifted or sale. I don't think I own anything I've
Absolutely.
actually really paid full price for clothing wise.
Like, what about Talese? I love Talese.
Right?
I love thrifting.
Oh, the hunt, the rush when you find something.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not even kidding. What I'm wearing right now is all thrifted.
Is it?
Actually, I got this at Winners on sale. I think it was like $20. This shirt definitely thrifted. Shorts were thrifted. Yeah. And then the
I love
shoes. I'll take off my shoe.
Oh,
for
those
you.
are like jelly shoes.
Yeah, they are. They're called lemon jellies. I got them at SOS.
I love SOS too.
Oh, yeah, me too. And when she puts a sale on too, it's wild.
Oh my
She's got beautiful
gosh.
stuff there.
Oh, just gorge.
So Fast Five. Thank you, Dani Guppy.
that it? Are we
That's
done?
it. The show is over. We're done for the day.
Cheers to that.
Clink. Summertime.
Time to guzzle.
Yes, Canoe Cafe. They have a beautiful rooftop upstairs too. I don't know if you checked that out yet.
Yeah, I know. Tiffany, I just want to say thank you for being like the beautiful person you are.
Stop.
Swear to God. Like, this girl is like one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. For real. No
Thank
joke.
you.
Like,
Thank
I
you.
honestly feel that from the bottom of my heart.
Oh my God. I feel that as well. It's honestly, beautiful human beings have definitely helped me get through the last few years. And
Right?
it's people like you. Absolutely.
Beautiful people stick together.
Yeah, beautiful people.
And everyone can be beautiful.
All of you watching, you're beautiful people. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Happy
This has
Friday.
been The Tiffany Show, Euphoria Wellness Spa Canoe Cafe, Dani Guppy, Fresh 100.5. Tune in. Have a great day, everyone. Take care of each other. Be safe. Stay kind. All those good things.